Good evening.
Good evening.
You hang about for a whole revival, waiting for a Stockholm classic to come along and two come along at once. What's all that about? I'm not sure there's anything left to be said about Blink, because Blink is undeniably a top-rank Doctor Who story. And it does so many things that Doctor Who can only do, and it does so many things that, in all honesty, Stephen Moffat can only do. Yeah, that Stephen Moffat can only do. So the old trick. I don't know how many times you can do it. Taking the Doctor out of the story provides a completely different template for a story, and this works absolutely magnificently. You tie that in with Stephen Moffat, and you have the whole twisty timey-wimey. Again, I meant to get the annual down, but I've forgotten. This is twice in a row now, a Doctor Who story inspired by a piece of previous media, which was from the first annual, where this was what Sally Sparrow did on our holidays, I think was the name of the short story.
Sally Sparrow.
Yeah, I think so. But the thing that just... I mean, I've seen Blink so many times now. It was Humphrey's first time, and Humphrey properly...
He properly wet himself.
Properly
not
jumped.
Literally,
He
said,
didn't.
I'm still dry.
He did not wet himself, but he did jump.
It's not far off.
We need already seen it before, thank goodness, because my gosh, that girl can jump when a shot comes on. But yeah, it's still scary, and it's still clever, and it's clever in the way that Doctor Who does it. What's the old phrase? Simple enough for the grown-ups and clever enough for the children, or whatever the old phrase was, which I've always adored. And the thing that has struck me on this watching of Blink is just how bloody tidy it is. Just how tidy and complete. And I know that even your average science fiction fan, so let's pitch it there, will see this story and go, well, there's been 101 short stories and episodes of television and films and cartoons that have played the sorts of tricks that Blink play. You know, but your average audience who watched Blink at the time and who may watch Blink now, and it's a shame actually that I think the way that television has gone, you're not going to get many families going to sit down and watch Blink together again now, apart from if you're bonkers like we are. But it's a beautiful thing to watch this all together, all different generations watching it, because you all get dragged through it together, and it's such a magnificent feeling seeing how all the parts drop into place as you go. And let's never forget, Doctor Who's supposed to be a family show. It genuinely, I said it before, it is deep in the DNA of this programme. It is for families. And that is how Doctor Who is supposed to be watched. So when you get one like this, which can make the whole family go, ooh, that was good, alongside all the trappings of a horror story, without it being too scary or too grim. Doctor Who's going to get too grim at some points. Prepare yourself, children. This is, I will be saying at some point in the future, not that I know, rules, that, this has gone too far now. But this is just the most perfectly balanced Doctor Who story. Carey Mulligan is sublime. And it is a pity, to a certain extent, that we will never see her in Doctor Who again, because she's just too big to come back now. But on the flip side, isn't it beautiful to have got a story that isn't going to be sullied by a return? We can imagine that they go on together now to have a relationship, and they're happy, and they run the little shop, and everything's brilliant. And I'm a softie, and I like that.
Wow.
I know.
I think something terrible happened.
No. In amongst all of this, of course, you get Moffat's amazingly zingy dialogue. Like, there's three things and a thing and a lizard. It just killed me for years. Life is short and you are hot. Oh, just all these lines. I mean, there's as many quotable lines in this than there were in a whole series of Doctor Who back in the day. And just beautifully profound moments, in a little way, and sad moments, and just glorious moments. And of course, I won't even touch on Tennant, because he's hardly in it.
I'd touch on Tennant.
No, behave. The DVD extra sequence is just genius, by the way. But we have to say, Doctor Who has returned now, has been back on our screens for over 20 years. and they've only struck upon one baddie that rivals the Daleks, and to a lesser extent the Cybermen, because people still think the Cybermen are good even though they're rubbish. But the only one that anybody has come up with that even gets close is the Weeping Angels. And everything about this story, and I don't even think it was the point of this story by any stretch of the imagination, whatever the point of this story was, you know, what they've done through brilliant writing and deft direction and good editing, let's give a tip of the hat to that, is to generate a baddie for Doctor Who in the 21st century that rivals the Daleks. And not a single other one has done that. You can't knock that. And again, it's a masterpiece of design, isn't it? Because they do bugger all until they do you, and then you're done. And that sequence at the end is a little bit mawkish with all the shots of the statues and the.
It's not. I think that's genius.
Really?
Yeah, I remember watching that the first time round, and then every time I saw a statue, I was like, ah!
See, not to be insulting to my wife, who's far cleverer than I am, but that is clearly there for the kids to then pack them off.
True, yeah.
To pack them off the next day to the walk to school. No, it'd be a Sunday morning, to the walk to church or wherever they go. Wherever they go. Something like that. Some of them might go to church or to mosque or whatever. But to walk past statues en route and just go,
Shit themselves.
oh, that's genius. That's absolutely brilliant.
Why is it for the kids?
That's what I just think this. No, but what I mean by that, no, what I mean by that, it's there because it just cements how Doctor Who gets inside there because it's clever and it's funny and it's brilliant and it's genius. It's absolute genius. This programme is genius. So it's splitting hairs. Is this better than Human Nature? No, not in my opinion. But I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I think for the general public, for most people, if you asked them to compare, I think they would give the tip of the hat to Blink. But why even question it? You've got two stone cold classic Doctor Who stories bumping up against each other in a series that has been a little bit up and down so far. And it is final thing I'll say, you know, and this has come out of nowhere. Martha doesn't seem out of place in this story at all. Now I know that. Oh, she's looking at me because the Martha hate is coming over.
Well, I didn't want to mention it, but at the end when she's going, "Come on, Doctor, we've got to go."
It's great.
We've got to.
That's what a companion does.
Oh, jeez.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What a fantastic story, and to have my little boy as scared at that as 10-year-old boys who are now 30-year-old men were watching it back in the day, and my little lad was proper. It was really cool.
Hold on, 10-year-old boy is watching it then, and now 30-year-old lad.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
There you go.
no.
Farewell.